Some of our fastest prep we've ever done.
How about that?
Look at that.
Levels.
I didn't need that. Levels.
Are you ready? Are you ready for the show?
What is Nantucket?
It's a place in Massachusetts. I'm not sure why you're asking, but okay, I'll play along.
What is three bean salad?
That's something that I won't eat at Thanksgiving. I really didn't think you were going to keep doing this.
What is the Pythagorean theorem?
Wait, hold on. Am I just helping you do some homework here?
No, that's not it.
You know, we stopped playing Jeopardy last week.
Yeah, I know, but I wasn't thrilled with my performance, so I'm just working ahead for the next time.
David, you better get going on our next iteration. Hi, toddlers. Welcome to Talking to Todd, a weekly podcast with Dwayne Johnson and Todd Prinz, where failure is always an option. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Todd.
What is? Hey, how's it going? Sorry, I'll stop now. It's enough. It's enough.
That's enough. It's enough out of you.
How are you doing?
Oh, pretty good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad here. But you know, the next 45 minutes to an hour will probably determine how the rest of the night goes.
Well, I'm better than last night.
That's good.
Thank you, by the way. I appreciate that. We were going to, toddlers, a little behind the scenes. We were going to record last night. And the Tuesday, we'll have more on this later, I think. Tuesday, I flew home from South Carolina after working a show for 2 days and then reffed a doubleheader and drove an hour each way. I was absolutely beat on Wednesday, and Todd was kind enough to not subject anyone to what would have resulted in a terrible episode. I'm not saying this is going to be great, but I know that would have been awful.
When you put it that way, we wasted a great excuse.
Oh, maybe I am tired. Should we go to feedback, follow up on updates?
Yeah, we should do that.
What'd you bring?
Let's see. From Lisa, two things. Number one, the Thanksgiving cold open. She was playing along with the TV episodes, the great ones, and she immediately, like on number 2, she's like WKRP in Cincinnati. Well, it wasn't number 2. Number 3, WKRP. I'm getting there. It's there.
Uh-huh.
And then the whole thing about the Pilgrim Detectives went down. And she's like, I don't get that. And so I explained it to her. And her comment was, knowing that doesn't help. So
they're Pilgrim Detectives. You'd be good.
It's still not helping.
Sam had this idea for this fantastic TV show. Toby didn't like it either.
It is now a limited series on Paramount Plus. You can watch it following Matlock Sundays on CBS.
Are you sure it's not on Peacock?
Could be. And then we discussed Wicked.
Uh-huh.
She has one recommendation because so the movie is an adaptation of the musical on stage, which is an adaptation of the book. And Lisa's comment is, you need to stress to your listeners, I cannot stress this enough, do not read the book.
Okay.
What I will say is the words toned down comes into play a lot. If you think, oh, I like the stage play and it hints at a few things, I should read the source material. The source material doesn't hint at anything. it gives it to you in full Technicolor. So anyway,
There's
it is a different thing.
the movie and the stage production. There's this allegory about, you know, not allow, people being marginalized and not being allowed to speak, and are you saying there's more of that in the book?
Yes, yeah. Anyway, she's just like,
But okay.
don't don't buy the book for your kid for Christmas, to say, hey, you might want to read Wicked.
Okay.
Or go to wicked.com.
Don't do that
Anyway,
either.
yeah, no,
Oh yeah,
neither one, neither one.
don't do that either
Yeah.
for research material. Just a little bit of Wicked follow up, as long as we're there.
Yeah.
We talked about things that were the same, or were maybe a little bit different.
Yes.
Something I learned this week, though it isn't the thing that I learned this week. The governor, the governess role at Shiz
Was split, and a new character was created.
Yes, out of whole cloth. It wasn't in the book. It wasn't on stage. It wasn't anywhere. They just created this new character for the movie.
Yes.
Okay, fine, whatever.
Sure, works.
I
works.
guess.
Yeah, choices were made.
Exactly. I don't think it added or detracted. I don't care. But it was another kind of departure. Amy watched this thing on YouTube that was all of these Easter eggs from The Wizard of Oz. Have you watched that?
I don't. We've watched a few, mostly from a person called Mickey Joe Theater, who's the theater critic who does all of this. So we've watched multiple of his. He's now doing. He has his regular videos, and now he has Wicked Wednesday videos, in which he has not that content, continuing content about Wicked the movie. So there's Easter eggs from the both the stage production, and also bringing in, hey, this is about the movie. This comes from the movie. So yeah. I didn't know we're now a Wicked fan club podcast. I did not know that.
Did not see that coming. Yeah. Though, why not?
Yeah. What else we got?
Toddler 401k.
Yeah.
He's behind a little bit and he's catching up. Episode 243. She got way more than she bargained for. Uh-huh.
The band had that? The band?
Yep.
Where were you 6 weeks ago? Anyway.
Doug from the Idiot Toddlers during the Jeopardy episode.
Yeah.
And David's question about bands from Seattle. He was screaming Soundgarden at his phone. Yep.
You know what? It seems much easier until you're on the bright lights of the stage and you got to push the button and it's, oh, wait.
Something like that.
Something. Yeah.
I figured that was general knowledge, and it was clearly not. And from David Batchelder, I got another Jeopardy question this week. The answer: Thanksgiving classics include this nutty pie from a recipe developed by Caro Corn Syrup in the 1930s. Todd?
Oh, so, what is pecan pie?
Yes, I can still taste the pecan. A, pecan pie tastes like dirt, and B, I can still taste the pecan. That's what I got from David. Thank you, David.
I'll throw out for Thanksgiving, Lisa made a pecan pie. It was lovely.
Was there any bourbon in it?
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that you're aware of. Okay.
Yeah.
But you liked it. So it's hard telling.
Yeah.
I did have one. I don't know if you had any. Did you have any other follow-up or
no,
feedback? Any other feedback? Okay. I did have one.
Actually,
the episode where we talked about Have I Got News for You?
Yes.
I believe I said Ian Michael Black, It's clearly Michael Ian Black,
Oh, that changes it totally.
doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a
See,
different guy. Different guy.
talking to
He
Todd
was,
regrets the air.
yeah, he was in that other thing versus what Michael Ian Black. Yeah, different. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
whole.
See,
It's a SAG thing. Yeah, yeah.
I get him confused all the time. Clearly, sorry.
Yeah,
Anyway,
one of them was in Star Trek and one of them was in the Avengers. Nope, that's a different. Nope, sorry.
I gotta, I gotta. Never mind. Moving on.
Yeah.
Did you have follow up? You had some follow up.
Yeah. So apparently now one of the things that we follow, besides all the other stuff we follow, is reports of loose animals. Because that's what we do here. We also, yes.
Is that escaped animals
Yeah,
or
we'll call it
animals?
escaped animals.
Okay,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the morals, are the morals of the animal in question?
Jeez. God. Escaped animals.
Thank you.
Yeah. And this one overlaps with another area that I cover occasionally, which is aviation. So a Portuguese airline, TAP, was forced to ground one of its passenger planes in mid-November after discovering that 132 hamsters had escaped from their cages in the cargo hold and roamed free throughout the aircraft.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So the flight that flew from Lisbon to the Azores was taken out of service on arrival and spent 4 days as ground crew were searching the plane for the rodents. According to an anonymous source, baggage handlers first noticed the damaged cages after the plane had landed and then saw the hamsters running amok in the cargo hold. The animals were part of a delivery intended for a pet shop, which also included ferrets and birds. There were no reports of any other animals getting free. After 4 days of looking for the hamsters, they then had to fly it without any passengers back to Lisbon, back to its maintenance center, to undergo a more thorough inspection. So, as of the time of the writing of this, and this was a couple of weeks ago, the plane was still out of service until it could be determined that it was 100%. Or let's be honest, 98% hamster free, right? Like, let's be honest. Are we going to get all of them? Probably not. Are we going to get
Probably
most
not.
of them? We've got a shot.
I mean, how much damage can they really? I suppose they could chew on some wires. That could be problematic.
Yeah, how much damage could they possibly do to? They're not near the window bolts, are they? Keep them away from the bolts. Oh, this is an Airbus. Don't worry about that. It's not a Boeing. Anyway, so there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, we hate to let you know we're gonna be delayed here for a couple of hours. Apparently, the aircraft is infested with hamsters. Get back to you when we got an update here. Sit back and enjoy the ride. What? Out your left, you can see a beautiful island of the Azores. On your right, you can see, Jesus, it's a freaking hamster eating through the wing. Look at that little sucker just hanging on.
Bing. Excuse me. Yes, you rang your call button. Yes, I think I found one. No, sir. That's a gerbil. They're clearly different. I don't know how you got it on the plane.
Alrighty. What else do we have?
Let's do perhaps a preview for Todd's Tech Corner as brought to you by the Taylor Center for Technology Policy.
Okay.
Arriving in the mail today for my lovely wife was an Aura ring.
Okay. Alrighty.
I don't know anything about them, but I'm guessing I'm going to have to provide some. No, I probably won't have to provide some tech support. She's pretty tech savvy. Todd, you may have to provide some. I don't know. We're going to see how this goes. But there's new tech in our house that's not Apple. And so we are very curious. They've gotten really good reviews. And so.
So, okay, so you're having problems. So, first question, how do you reboot your ring? I don't. What?
Is this the one with a camera? No, it's not. That's a different ring. Okay, fine. Because we've covered those on this podcast before too. Oh, so anyway, more to come there. Jesse, we may need, excuse me, Dr. Jesse, we may need a paper on that.
Mm. Nothing that a policy center loves more than being asked to come up with a paper. That's what we're here for.
Oh, should we?
And now we're banned in Kazakhstan. Sorry.
That's right. That sound means it's time for Todd Ought to Know. So I'm going to ask Todd about a story that happened in the news this week. I want to preface this with this story hit my feed this morning.
Okay.
With the headline, Asteroid to hit Earth today. For the record,
okay.
Today is Thursday, December 5th. Dateline.
It was until the asteroid hit. Okay.
Dateline of the story, 3 December 2024. You know, it would be helpful. I just want to say.
They sat on it for 2 days. Okay.
I'm like, okay, fine. Todd, are you aware that a small asteroid hit Earth 2 days ago?
No, I am not.
Okay, this should be great then.
Sweet.
Todd,
yeah.
If you had to guess,
yeah,
where on Earth, and I'm gonna tell you, this one actually hit land.
Okay, because my guess was going to be water, just to be a smart ass, because that gives me a much better chance of winning.
Where on Earth
is Carmen Sandiego? Oh, sorry.
Thank you. Yep, I was giving you the opportunity for that if you wanted to take it.
Yeah.
Where on Earth did this asteroid actually land?
Landing's doing a lot of work there. If your plane lands the same way the asteroid lands, you're going to be looking for some compensation. Let's see. Well, we didn't freak out. I don't remember any generalized freak out, so we're going to say not in the U.S. I'm going to rule out the U.S.
True.
Then, because it wasn't covered in any of the mainstream media, and by the way, I don't even know what mainstream media is anymore, but whatever. That means it could have occurred, let's see, anywhere else in the world, because we don't care about anything that happens outside of the United States. Yes.
You're not wrong. If it helps, the alert was issued at 9:27 a.m. GMT by the European Space Agency.
Oh, crap. See, so my next guess was going to be I was just going to start playing the odds of landmass. And where do I have the best opportunity? The best opportunity is Russia. I was just going to say it's Russia because it's got the largest landmass. So I'm just playing the odds here.
I'm going to need a ruling on this one. Kevin, I guess Kevin says we're going to give it to you. Technically, northern Siberia.
You're not giving it to me. That was the right freaking answer.
Hey, I guess if you had
Todd,
said,
yeah. Hey, Todd, where do I live? Iowa. Well, I guess I'm going to give it to you because we were looking for Norwalk.
We were looking for Norwalk. Was he wrong? No, I guess he wasn't wrong. Okay. So this asteroid was around 70 centimeters in diameter.
Okay. All right.
And we had about an hour and 45 minutes worth of warning.
Yeah. So it's about 28 inches.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, less than a yardstick, but you know, think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
they were really happy. The European Space Agency and I mean, I guess NASA as well, for that matter. They monitor these things all the time. Do you
Yes.
know how many asteroids they've picked up and identified as targeting Earth? They didn't throw a forearm shiver when they were targeting. They just targeted. Do you know how many that the monitoring systems have picked up so far this year? Knowing that we're
Oh, this year?
yes,
Um, I'm just gonna stick with my original. I'm gonna stick with my original guess. 5,000.
no, no. You were off by more than a Dwayne.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I thought you were going to get it because you started with 5,
Okay.
and the answer is 5.
Oh, 5. Period.
See, there you can do this.
Thousand people worked on it. See, so you just
I just didn't. Yeah, I should have let you.
I was just pausing for dramatic effect. You didn't get the whole answer. Okay, 5.
It's a win for science and for anybody who happens to be in Siberia this evening. There was a big, huge fireball. A little bit of asteroid actually finally made it to Earth, but they didn't have to shoot a rocket at it to blow it up. That's their plan, is to hopefully identify larger asteroids that could cause serious Earth shaking events. And so it
Yeah,
just kind of disintegrated.
there's also a plan to go collect some of the best miners in the world and put them on a rocket with some astronauts and then send them there. And then what you need to do is you need to drill down into it, right, using the miners, and to then drop an explosive into there. Now, if the problem with this is, if you lose your remote detonation, somebody has to heroically stay behind to detonate it, to split it in two so it goes past. I saw this documentary. It was cool. So they've been training for, yeah.
ERS or ORS?
Hmm?
What kind of miners are we talking about?
Oh, no.
Are
I mean,
they
I'm
are
thinking.
they minors? Or are they minors?
No. You
Why are
mean
these 13 and 14-year-olds being tasked with this? That's totally unfair. They have no
oh
experience.
oh no. You're gonna, most of them are gonna be sort of the older guys, and then you're gonna want the one new guy who I don't know, maybe falls for the daughter of the leader. Wait, that's a whole thing. Never mind. Um, that may not have been a documentary. Now that I think about it.
The first one of these asteroids that they ever discovered and advancedly, I don't know if that's a word or not, recognized and identified in advance of it actually hitting was in 2008. So they're starting to get better at doing this. Anyway,
They did a couple of, was it a year or two ago? I keep, some space missions are hard to keep track of. They landed a small satellite. They shot a satellite and put a lander down on one of the asteroids, and it sort of affixed itself to it, and then it used its a little bit of engine to give it just a little nudge. So the goal is, if you find it early enough and it's far enough out, you can go to it and you just have to move it slightly, and it's just enough to the closer it gets, the more you have to move it.
that's yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I sit corrected here. They issued the alert at 9:27 a.m. and the rock lit up the sky at 11:15 p.m. So people had 14 hours to get
To
their affairs in
freak
order.
out.
Yes, yes, yes. Which would also give them a little bit more time to, you know, get the miners organized.
Yeah.
Anyway, good job. Nice work out of you.
Oh, thank you. I think. Sure. Yeah. Um,
We have
speaking of,
other, yeah, we have other stuff
yes,
in game time.
What time is it? Game time! Woo!
we have another Apple headline and picture. This time, I'm going to send you the picture and then you're going to tell me the headline that goes with the picture. And I'm going to give you a hint. This one isn't as far off as you may think.
Okay, well, this is a picture of the Napoleon movie.
Yes, which is why it's under the Apple. So it's under Apple News. It's a picture of the Napoleon movie. Yep.
And this was Joaquin Phoenix who played Napoleon.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of guys behind him in funny looking hats. Is this a marching band? Napoleon marching band advances on Siberia?
Wow. Okay. When I said I wasn't trying to mess with you, it's not that far off. Here's the actual headline. Come here.
Is there a sequel coming?
You thought you knew all of the story. Napoleon Part 2.
Apple's Wolves won't be getting a sequel. Excuse me?
So, okay.
Wasn't Wolves the Brad Pitt, George Clooney movie?
Yes. So, these are both Apple movies. Wolves was George Clooney and Brad Pitt. This is Napoleon, a period piece, right? They're getting closer, but still somebody said, oh, yeah, Wolves won't be getting it. Now I understand why Wolves isn't going to be getting a sequel, because apparently it apparently just used the script from Napoleon.
Even Apple doesn't want to watch Wolves. Nobody else did. Should we do a couple idiots? I mean, sure. Beyond Apple?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. What did you bring?
Did you see what Rob Manfred did this week on a podcast?
He either fixed the game of baseball or ruined the greatest national pastime ever by coming up with some stupid rule change. Is that the one that you're talking about?
Yeah, you've pretty much narrowed down you've described every Rob Manfred podcast appearance for the last 4 years, I believe.
All right. Warning. I think we're going to be talking baseball rules here for just a little bit. Okay. All right. Let's go.
Okay. We promise to keep this.
You know what? I'm going to
put a timer on this.
Okay. I'm going to set a timer. How much time do we need on this?
Let's say 2 minutes.
Okay. We're going to fly through this. Okay. Timer. 2 minutes begins now.
Okay. So he announced unprompted. This is not a thing that anybody has been discussing or clamoring for or anything, to introduce a golden at bat. So at any point in the game, each team would have one opportunity to send a batter of their choice, probably their best batter, but regardless, a batter of their choice.
Depends on who their managers, depends on which team their manager's betting on.
Well, that's not wrong, Pete. But they can send one player to the plate. Is anybody asking for this? No, we want blackouts to end. Let me watch my frigging team. We're going to make the bases bigger. Can I watch my team, please? No, but we're going to eliminate the shift. Excuse me, I'd like to watch my team play baseball, please. We're going to introduce a pitch clock. Now that one I can get behind. I'm okay there. It sped up the game, and I like that. I like my games under 3 hours. I really like in about 2 hours and 20 minutes. That's really good. Golden at bat. Are you frigging kidding me? Todd?
I'm going to yes and his rule change, because if we're going to do this, then let's go big. Okay? So here's what, instead of this crap, let's make managers earn their money. Because let's be honest, baseball managers don't earn much. I mean, they just sit around and then they have to decide whether to bring the guy out or not right before he gives up the game-winning home run. Here's my thought. Instead of setting the batting order at the beginning of the game, just do this. Here's the rules. You can send anybody to the plate you want, but everybody has to bat before you get a second at bat. You can literally change you don't even have to tell anybody. It's just who comes out. You know what? Let's do this. We're going to do this. Yeah, no, it's not one golden at bat. Earn your money. Like shortstop leads off, and then he doesn't have to bat again until he's like the eighth in the like just every at bat. They have no idea who's coming out. By the way, if you do that, that might stop some of these stupid pitching changes because they're like, I'm going to go lefty righty. Well, here's our lefty. Damn it, just burned a pitcher.
So if they do this,
and time.
I should have said 3 minutes. We're talking about they have to go through the entire batting order, right? They don't get a pass just because they can't go if 1, 2, and 3. If 1, 2, and 3 go down in the first inning, they can't bring up 1, 2, and 3 again in the second inning.
Until
you got to go through all 9.
You got to 1 through 9. You got to go through 9, and then you can. But then once you go through 9, you can use anybody you want in any order you want. But you do have to. All 9 have to bat, and then you can just change it up.
I love this idea.
It's just pure carnage. Oh, isn't that cute, Rob? Oh, you want one golden at bat. Yeah.
Woohoo!
Watch the analytics computers just catch on fire trying to figure out who you're supposed to send up next.
Rob Manfred, my idiot of the week this week and almost every week. How about you? What'd you bring?
Yeah, this one's from a couple of months ago. So we cover running.
We start doing idiot of the quarter.
Yeah, well, we had so many idiots to cover that this one got pushed to the back. But we do cover running events here. We've talked about people doing marathons who cut the course and do some of that. In the New York City Marathon at the end of October, which we've also covered because they have to pay a toll to go across the bridge. So this is really bringing multiple stories together here. A running influencer on YouTube, Matthew Choi, wanted to document his run, and he finished it in under 3 hours. Not a problem there. He didn't cheat. Exactly. But because he's an influencer, he needs to film it. And many running influencers just run with like a GoPro. But, he wanted more epic footage. So he had a couple of people on e-bikes riding next to him, filming him for the entire 26 miles. Now, I believe something in the neighborhood of 50,000 people run this thing, plus minus. And the rules are very, very clear. No e-bikes, period. We shouldn't have to tell you this. Well, the runner didn't have an e-bike. No e-bikes, period.
On the
course.
Not
5,000. It's not 5,000. It's 5, period. A number of runners were shocked as they were running that they had to run around a dude surrounded by e-bikes because they're not allowed. The New York City Marathon was not impressed with this. After he finished and it was brought to their attention, he was disqualified and received a lifetime ban from the New York City Marathon.
Seems warranted. Also explains why he didn't ask permission beforehand.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, it'll be fine. Nobody will even notice. There's 50,000 people. Who's gonna? Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? You ask for forgiveness, not permit. Oh no, permission. I needed the form signed. I needed the express written consent of the commissioner of the marathon. Anyway, so apparently he thought this was a good idea. It wasn't. Now, he still posted his video, and then he also got to post his, I believe, Instagram, his I'm sorry video. He's taken full responsibility. Also, a couple of his sponsors are now considering whether they continue to sponsor him or not. So anyway, on the other hand, they're all probably thinking, man, more people are seeing our logo on him than they normally do. So, I mean, no publicity is bad publicity. Anyway, he's decided that they probably shouldn't do that. And my thought more was if you got the e-bike, like, why even run it at that point? But whatever. So anyway, Matthew Choi, congratulations on making a very poor. My question is, did they have to pay for the e-bikes for the toll to cross the bridge? Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
2 wheels, different rate.
Yeah. By the way, Greg, you know what? If you want to get some great footage,
I've got an e-bike you can borrow. I can guarantee it'll go 26. I don't know that it would do a full Ironman, but.
All right. Let's see. So that's our idiots. Oh, hey, you've got a travel story.
I've got a couple of travel stories. One of them involves a picture. All of this happened on one day. Like I said, I flew to South Carolina on Sunday, and once I got to Atlanta, I was going to have about an hour and a half. Whatever. Which then turned into almost 4 hours.
Yep, that's Atlanta.
Which ended up not being a problem for me because I just got Sky Club access.
Yep.
Which I've been in when I had international travel or whatever. I've been in Sky Clubs before, but I really don't. It's not my thing because I want to spend as little time in the airport as I possibly can. Unless you get stuck there for 4 hours, at which point you guys are absolutely correct. Sky Club rules. Full lunch buffet. I got there just about the time I was starting to get hungry. Full lunch buffet that I went through twice. It was really good. Free Wi-Fi and clean bathrooms.
The latter is really the top of the list.
Like I left it for last because of how important it is.
Yeah.
And then when I got done and finally got to Savannah, Georgia, I hopped.
Oh, sorry.
No. I got in the car and drove to Hilton Head. But along the way, I stopped for dinner and did a drive-through at Taco Bell. And this was hanging on the drive-through. This was the sign that was hanging on the drive-through.
It's held on with a magnet. I'm just going to start this though because I think this is important for context. I mean, so the sign there's the post on the side of the post that says "Order Here." That sign's been there a while.
Handwritten.
No, well, the "Order Here" is not handwritten. That one's printed.
Yeah, that one's printed. Yeah.
And then oh, I know it. I was going to say with a sticker or a piece of tape. I'm sure that's probably something they close the bags with. It says "Live Moss," right? And then handwritten on a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper that is punched to go into a 3-ring binder. Handwritten. We don't have ice for the drinks, and only two employee that's working. Now, the other thing I noticed on this, by the way, I'm going to go back to this one just for context. There is the remnants of at least a dozen other of those purple Live Moss stickers on this order thing, which makes me think we need to communicate with our drive-through people. Oh, we have a system. Nobody had to say, how do we do this? They have a protocol. When either the ice is out or only 2 employee that's working, they know what to do because this has been done many, many times. Now, yes, please.
When I pulled into the parking lot, the line at the drive-through was really long.
Yeah.
So I parked and I'm like, okay, more than 4 cars to the drive-through. I can be quicker if I just go in. There's nobody in. Lights are all on, nobody in. So I park.
Including behind the counter, apparently.
The doors are all locked with a different handwritten sign that I did not take a picture of, now wishing I had. Dining area closed. Please use drive-through. And now I know why the dining area was closed because there was only 2 employees that's working.
Only 2. Again, I'm going to read this one more time. Only 2 employee that's working.
There may have been 5 or 6 in the building, but there were only 2 that's working.
She already done had hers.
She when I did eventually get my tacos, they were very good. And the soda was very warm.
Yeah.
Yep. That's my report from just outside Savannah, Georgia.
But the only thing we don't have ice for the drinks and only 2 employee that's working. Parentheses, please don't rob us. I mean, I don't know how many employees you need, but it feels like explaining how many people are inside the building is putting out some info is violating the OPSEC there on like, yeah.
Please be patient with us. We're working as fast as we can, and we know you just want your chalupas. So come on.
Also, thank you for ordering 2 tacos and a drink. There's only 2 of us. We appreciate it. That'll also be $32.95. Wait, what?
Wait.
Inflation, man. Inflation.
Oh, so are you watching anything good?
So we've wrapped up since we've talked last. We've wrapped up multiple series finally. So we finished Slow Horses. We finished Agatha All Along, and the finale of the Great British Bake Off, I believe, was last week as well. So all of those series are wrapped up. So we can now think about starting some additional series. And once again, I'm just going to promote again the Great British Baking Show on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, and you're just looking for something that it's nice. The people are nice. The contestants are nice. Like nobody's trying to screw anybody over. And again, if you want to watch people screwing people, there's Survivor. There's plenty of those. I'm not going to give away any super details, but in the final where there's only 3 bakers for the title, at near the end of one of the challenges, one of the bakers isn't completely done, which is to be expected. One of the other bakers, this is the final, who's not done with his stuff yet, says, "Do you need some help?" And comes over and helps the other guy do a couple of things so that his will be fine, because then he can go back to his so that they all have the best chance of winning. Who does that? Who does that? Anyway, highly recommend. How about you? What have you guys been watching?
So I've got a couple of recommendations for you now that you have finished up some other stuff.
Yeah.
This one I watched without Amy. It's a series called A Man on the Inside. It's on Netflix.
Ted Danson.
Seen
the promo. We said we should add that to the list. Then I realized we keep saying that, but there is no list. Anyway, please continue.
So this was created by Michael Shore, who did, among other things, The Good Place.
Also Ted Danson.
And the Good Place Easter eggs in this are rampant. It is fantastic. It's a feel good. It's 8 30-minute episodes. You can watch it in an afternoon. It took me 2 days. I watched it in 2 separate afternoons. He is a widower who is having trouble dealing with the death of his wife, and he needs something to do, and he answers a want ad to be an investigator for a private detective. And there are some real, much like Ted Lasso, I don't want to compare it to Ted Lasso, but much like Ted Lasso, there are some really, really funny things. There are some poignant things. It is a great 8 episodes. It's tight. The watching these characters, it was great. I absolutely recommend this.
Wow. Okay. And then you have more.
Yeah, especially if you liked The Good Place. But anyway, it's Ted Danson, and that's on Netflix. At the recommendation of David, Say Nothing on Hulu. We're about
Unaware of that one.
unaware. Okay, this is a retelling of the Troubles in Northern Ireland.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes.
This is not Say Anything. This is Say Nothing.
Mm.
That is important. Do not confuse the two. Because if you come to this hoping to get John Cusack in a feel-good teen movie, this is not that. This is not that. It's intense. And we're 2 episodes in. Similarly, The Day of the Jackal, which is Eddie Redmayne, that's on Peacock. We're 3 episodes into that. This is fiction. And he is an assassin. Eddie Redmayne is an assassin. It has a very James Bond feel to it. Based in London, but the story happens all over Europe, and so far so good there. Really, really liking it. I will see where it goes. I'm curious to see where this one goes. Kind of a slow horses feel to it, I'm going to say. I like it. So those
Excellent.
three good recommendations from me this week.
Look at that. I mean, sometimes we don't make any recommendations. We just report out. So
yeah, right. Yeah. Not what I'm recommending, just what I'm watching. So nope. I absolutely recommend all 3 of these. And the commentary on yours, boy, Agatha all along. I liked. Did you just have to slog through it and get done? I liked that story.
Lisa felt that the beginning, a number of the early first episode, strong. A couple of other episodes, what are we doing here? What is this even? It picked up near the end. So
could have been tighter. It could have been tighter. I agree.
Yeah.
But I liked the story. I liked the story arc. I thought it was anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, just to be clear, it's Day of the Jackal on Peacock, the new series, not the Day of the Jackal, the film from 1973.
Yes, no, it's not that.
By the way, everybody, just toddlers, understand this. I knew that it wasn't, but what I just did there was I reminded Dwayne that there was a movie in 1973 about the TV show that he's watching, because now what I've planted is a seed in his mind that he's going to have to now go find that movie and watch it to compare or contrast, because he's like, 1973 movie. Yeah, I'll go watch that.
Yeah, I'll go watch that.
Sorry. Anyway, Dwayne.
And then you know what else I'm going to do? Then I'm going to go watch Robert Redford in 3 Days of the Condor, because that's another early 70s movie that I really liked. It does not, I can already tell you, if you go watch 3 Days of the Condor, it does not hold up well. There are scenes in that movie that are highly problematic.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yep. Did you learn anything?
How do you know they're going to print it? Sorry. No, moving on. Okay. So I learned this week that not all dog bags are made to the same quality specifications, right? So if you have a dog and you go take a dog out for a walk, you got to bring some bags with you to clean up some mess, right? And we've kind of, like, Lisa bought like a box of like 1,000 rolls like 10 years ago or something, and we're still working through them. But other ones have also come in there. So our dogs have this one of our dogs has this very interesting thing of, we go for a walk, literally put on the harness, the leashes, everything. We walk directly across the street. There's no house over there. It leads into a bit of a canyon, and it's landscaped. And immediately before we get walking, we just walk across the street. And then one of our dogs has to do his business in the rocks right across the street without fail, every single time. Cool. So instead of me carrying around a bag with a present in it for the entire loop, What I then do is pick it up, tie it off. And again, we have small Pomeranians, tie it off, and then throw it across the street and land it on our driveway so that when I get home, I can just pick it up and put it in the little bucket that we have. Do this all day, every day. Lisa does rate me sometimes on how far, like sometimes I make it to the driveway, sometimes it makes it to the road. One time it almost went on the roof. That did not get high ratings because that can't stay. Anyway, normally not a problem. At one point last week, though, we switched to a much thinner bag that I didn't realize, and I picked up everything that needed to be done and tied it up and went to fling it across the road. And as I let it go, the bag, let's put it this way, it looked like multiple asteroids came out of it.
Oh, no.
The bag then just died. It just went thunk because there had nothing in it. Basically, I used the bag as a catapult, and I was just throwing dog crap at my house.
Oh, dear.
Just watching it arc over the road, like that is a suboptimal outcome of what I had intended here. Anyway, yes, you want the bags pretty light because the lighter they are, the cheaper they are, but they do need to, these were not rated for throwing. These were not throwing bags. You pick it up and you deposit them. They were not designed for distance. So anyway, I'm going to try not to do that again.
Next week's report, Todd is double bagging the doggy bags.
All right. How about you? What did you learn this week?
Every year at about this time, we get from our homeowners association management company.
The people you pay to harass you. Yes.
Well, you know what? If they harassed us, it means that they would actually be doing something.
Okay.
We don't have a local board of directors.
Okay.
Because the association is still under the management of the company that developed our development.
Huh.
And so
that's odd.
They won't turn it over to us to manage ourselves until the development is entirely built out. Under the concept of, if there aren't any people there, somebody needs to manage it. And if there aren't enough people and, you can't get people to sit on the board and it's a new thing. So we'll manage the HOA for you until we get to a certain point, which is all the way built out. Well, it just continues to get built and built and built and added onto and continues to grow. We now have 849 total doors in our homeowners association. And for the 9 times that I have paid my dues, my assessment fee has been $350. In that time, our number of doors has increased by almost 50%.
Okay.
And yet the number of potential doors is still at 897. So we still have 50 more houses that need to be built before they will turn this back over to us. But so I sent them an email this morning, just asking some questions, because every year we get an annual budget. Here's how we plan to spend the $280,000 that we collect from you. Of that, more than $60,000 goes to management fees.
Yes.
To do what exactly? I'm not sure here. Because there's another $6,000 in administrative fees, which pays for community mailings and software. There's $31,500 in annual flowers, which is a seasonal rotation. Damn it, plant some perennials. There's $11,100 for general cleaning, but the note to the side says pet station cleaning. We've been having a discussion on our Facebook page. If anyone knows where the pet station is, if somebody could please let us know, because that thing better be friggin' spotless. Speaking of picking up poo, there's another $27,000 for landscape, lawn, and snow removal. You know what? That's really the only thing that I don't have a problem with. I want it to look nice. I want it to be mowed, and I want the snow gone when it needs to be gone. I'm okay with that. I think it might be a little high because I know the garbage is high because they're paying $2,900 a year to have the garbage hauled away from the single dumpster next to the little clubhouse that we have that we can rent out. I don't see any revenue from clubhouse rental on here. I'd like to know where that is. And lastly, of what we pay, $330 are regular dues and $20 are reserves. The general reserve assessment total from all of our households this next year will be $16,980. I also asked them for an accounting of how the previous 5 years' $16,980 has been spent, how it's been invested, and where the balance on that amount stands right now as a, important and valued member of our community. End quote. If I'm not careful, I'm going to find myself on a board of directors.
I think you just volunteered.
I think I may have.
Congratulations, President Johnson.
I mean, well, I'm going to have to ask Lisa for some pointers. I know she's been to a meeting or two. The music is Happy Boy by Kevin MacLeod. You can subscribe to our award-winning podcast with visiting poop thrower Todd Prinz. Wherever you get your pods, just search Talking in the number 2.
Cool, I qualify as a cabinet member now.
No shit. There's no G and there's no space. You can stop by and leave us your poo or anything at the Tuba City home office. Please don't do that. Thanks to our listeners, our sponsors, and our contributors. We appreciate you. And as always, you can send your feedback on this episode or any episode to feedback@talkingtotodd.com. Todd?
Just really quick, so we don't have to do it next week. I just wanted to throw in a quick, actually, you were talking about A Man on the Inside. I think you meant that it was created by Michael Ian Shore. So there you go. You stand corrected.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a good thing we don't have to fix that later. Oh, I'm sure we'll have something to clean up. We'll be back next week. We're here. We're talking to Todd.
Just so the toddlers know how close they came to something going really, really wrong for them as you were doing that whole HOA thing. So I served on our HOA. I served on an HOA for 5 years, including treasurer, vice president, president. We just sort of rotated all through. As you're talking about this, I'm literally like taking notes like, okay, I want to see a copy of your CCNRs because we've lived in multiple developments. The CCNR should say that there should be a gradual movement of, so as you get to 50%, then you should get one board seat. And as you move to, another one, you should get to that. By law, yes. So
Really?
you need to look at your, well,
Yes.
that's the way every place that I've lived has that. it isn't all or nothing. You start adding homeowners as it develops out. So there's a gradual change over. Also, state law will require that they do keep reserves. However, there has to be a reserve study. Well, at least in the states that I've lived in, by law, there has to be a reserve study done every 3 to 5 years that shows whether the reserves are enough to cover the assets that they are meant to recover. And all homeowners should be receiving a copy of the reserve study. If you've never seen a copy of the reserve study, they're probably in violation of Iowa law. And your management company, this is why you pay the management company so they know what the laws are. Anyway, we could go in and on to this, like, oh, hey, this is fun, digging into CC&Rs and then taking a look and seeing where the board and buddy, you know what? We've got at least 3 episodes out of time out of this. I'm not saying they're going to be good, but they're going to be done.
Stay tuned, toddlers.